Hey guys, this is Jared, and I just wanted to take a few moments to go over the latest build of StarForge. Probably marks a very significant turning point in the title's development cycle. The first thing I noticed was just how much more alive and vibrant the world felt. It really had a sense of place and identity, much more varied foliage. You have these crash-landed ships that act as these kind of high-level loot zones. There's also critters that run around in the environment now, which offer loot. You can take them down and get loot from them. And it was kind of cool when I first opened up my first game. I was greeted with just little guys running around, and it really added a lot of life. And on top of that, they have one relationship working now where the leeches will hunt them. That opens up some gameplay opportunities, as well as just offering, again, another dimension of character and life in the world. Really opens it up, even though there's so few NPCs, just that simple relationship and the simple roaming around really adds just a ton of life and identity to the world. A ton of content has been added. Obviously, in terms of resources, resources have probably tripled, if not quadrupled, in what you mine now and what you can gather. There will be a smelting system where you will combine resources to make ingots. There's a bunch of systems that have been added as well. There's now a multiplayer. There's now a security system for saving in a multiplayer. There's dedicated servers. There's now a health system. There's also a nutrition system. And each of these systems has what are called injectors, which are crafted and then used to replenish them. And the build is now 64-bit, and it has a significant improvement in performance. I think when not running fraps in recording, I get about high 20s on my FPS running at 1920 by 1080. And I think it's like custom fantastic settings as well. That is in windowed mode though, and when I use fraps, it drops down to my about low 20s. There's different tiers of drills now. You have a compactor, and then you can go up in tiers of drills for a better efficiency. We'll say that material acquisition seems to be, delegated more to surface materials, such as the meteor sites and whatnot. The blocking system now offers a more refined kind of highlight and echo of the blocks that you're placing. It's really nice. Typical stuff still exists. You can place blocks, you can place angle of ramps and whatnot. I will say the blocking system can get a bit sticky on certain surfaces. I'm sure that'll be alleviated as development moves forward. I will say that the quote-unquote parkour and the movement of the game is not as adequate as I would like it to be. It seems that jumping has been nerfed. You can't run parallel to a wall and wall jump. You have to be perpendicular to, you have to be more perpendicular to it than parallel, which is unfortunate. I hope this is fixed in the future. And they still have the issues with sliding down steps. For some reason, it's really obnoxious. Just going up and down steps shouldn't be this difficult. Right here, I just go neutral and I'm sliding down. I'm not moving myself. I'm just, gravity's yanking me down with it. But regardless, they now have armor tiers now, which apparently affect your speed and your ability to dish damage and take damage. It's really pretty cool. Again, it adds to the whole all the content, and now it's a system as well, aside from just the physical items that you can get. It's wonderful. I'm not sure if it's a placebo effect in terms of movement, but the stats say it affects it, so there you go. Another big change is improved gunplay. They now have multiple types of guns. You can craft these guns. There's ADS and shoot from the hip. I'm not what you'd say a high-level FPS player. My background is more in fighting games and platformers. And so I noticed that when I'm doing ADS, it recoils, but it centers back to the original point of origin of your fire. I'm not sure if that's proper protocol for FPS. I also noticed that the spread for ADS versus hip seemed fairly similar. Again, though, whatever. I'm sure this will be addressed further into the developmental cycle. And once again, touching on performance, here we're loading straight from the start menu, and you can see it's just quick, it's seamless. You get right into the game, and it's pretty fantastic just to be able to jump in. Overall, the game just plays well now. Everything is just brought together and functions as it should. In previous builds, you'd have bits and pieces that would work, and now there's actually more of a holistic feel with the game. It's fantastic. And there are some issues though. Some of the texturing's wonky. Some of the biomes are more like in a pie shape right now. So you have your spawn origin, and then the biomes are kind of cut in like pies around you. I'm sure this is done just to give players a sense of the space and to give them a sense of how the biomes are going to be. But right now, you know, I'm sure it's going to change, but right now it's kind of awkward, and there's really no transition between the biomes. You just cut off and you go one to the other. And I will say that I'm not too impressed with how they've switched up the landforms. The landforms don't seem as dynamic and as, how would you say, there's not as many chasms and gaps and impressive land features. I would assume this is just something that's being done in this particular part of the development cycle, just for whatever, like for testing reasons or for tweaking reasons. One thing too that I'm not a big fan of is the way you control vehicles now. You turn with the mouse instead of turning with WASD and using the mouse to orient the camera. Not a big fan of that at all. I think it's kind of garbage. I hope they get rid of that. Nonetheless, it's a huge update. It's fantastic. I'm not here, like I said, to go over all the little nuances, but check it out. If you've been away from it for a while for whatever reason, due to lack of content or just being too buggy for you or performance, that has been addressed significantly. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Give a thumbs up, thumbs down. Leave a comment, anything to make the channel better. And yeah, guys, keep playing strong. Peace.